Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. From touchdowns on the liquid on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, folks? Running game is back. We'll see about that. We at the end of the night. Who just got hurt? Elliott getting helped in the locker room from Pittsburgh. Watching the end of this game, Green Bay's got the ball, got a chance to take the lead. They have to score. Got 4 minutes left in the fourth. In the third. So we got a lot of football to play, but Green Bay is on their 40. Trying to get across the 50, but what's going on? What's going on? BTA belts to ass. Carlos, you already know. What's going on, Dave? Chris, what's going on? Tank, hey, what did I tell y'all about Tank Bigsby? Much better running back than he is a returner, but Tank Bigsby, he got some skills. I liked him when we signed him, but I liked him as a backup running back. What's up, Alex? Chris 3K, what it do? Appreciate you. What's up, Nina? Running back. The running game is back. Yes. KP is coming to his own. Sometimes these things take time, but like I've been telling y'all for the last couple of weeks, it's not necessarily Patullo. It was our offensive line, and our offensive line had a relatively good day today. The offensive line looked competent today. Now, I will say this. Me and Tone talked about this. A lot of the runs that we had today was Saquon bouncing outside. He did not hit the hole. He got to the line of scrimmage, saw something else, and had a different exit strategy. We still continuing to run off tackle a little bit too much, but we drew him in. He bounced outside. They couldn't touch him. Tank Bigsby did the exact same thing, except he wasn't waiting. He was hopping outside quick. And almost every time he tried to bounce outside, he got outside. He had that one run where he just drug about 6 or 7 people down the middle. But for the most part, he put that foot in the dirt, bounced outside, and he raced them to out of bounds, and he made it. And we ended up getting good gains on them, and that's how you got to do it sometimes. So, do I still want him to do it a little bit different? But I'm nitpicking. Yes, I do want him to do it a little bit differently at times. But again, I'm nitpicking. I'm not going to say nothing when we have two running backs with 100+ yards. So, yeah, whatever they was doing, it worked. Get a little bit more confidence on that offensive line. Let's keep doing that a little bit more. Defense, we had some couple issues on defense, but it's going to happen like that. But for the most part, defense did what they needed to do to win. Gave up a couple passes. We got lucky on some. We got a couple of calls. We lost a couple of calls. The bad calls went both ways. A couple of holding calls that weren't called. We got the call on the offensive pass interference, although when I watched that play, I thought that was a bad call for the Giants. I thought that was just a horrible call by the refs. Even though it was to our favor, I didn't like that call at all. However, going to look back at it, watching it again, that was the right call because the dude pushed off. And at least I didn't get a sense of how much he pushed off. He pushed off twice on that play. So y'all see me rubbernecking up here. Green Bay, it is 3rd and 7. Kevin Love drops back. He's scrambling. He launches it deep and gets who was that? Gets Watson on the 9-yard line. Flag on the play. Is that pass interference or are they bringing it back? Great catch by Watson. Great throw by Jordan Love. Defensive holding. They're going to decline that. First down. Looks like they got the ball on the 9-yard line, I think. Love scrambled to the right and just launched it. Launched it. They're on the 40-yard line. He scrambles, launches it. That should have been picked. And Watson just comes up with it. He just waited for it. Good job. They get the ball on the 7-yard line. 1st and goal. Can they convert? Can they convert? Handoff. Nothing. Grinding it out. He gets down to the 3. So we'll see what they can do. Yeah, Alex. Ref had bad calls both ways. You win some, you lose some. That's the way it goes. Every time now I see a bad call by the refs, I'm thinking that the NBA refs are looking at the NFL like, let's see, y'all got away with some stuff too. So the out of bounds play where Jalen Hurts got hit out of bounds, I did not think that was a penalty. However, if that would have been Patrick Mahomes, he would have got that flag. Guaranteed. He would have got that flag. So, Jalen Hurts ain't trying to fake nobody. He was trying to get out of bounds, and I think the dude just got him before he made it out of bounds. Period. I didn't think it was a bad hit or anything. But you've seen some of the things that Mahomes does. He tries to fake you out at the end, makes you think he's going out of bounds, and he'll lower the shoulder on you. So, what as a defender, what are you supposed to do in a situation like that? If you try to push him out of bounds and he runs you over, you feel stupid or you get hurt or get nicked up or something like that because you wasn't expecting that blow. But in any case, it all equaled out. I know there was that play on, I think it was the play they scored on with Scatterboo to the left when Patrick Johnson tripped and fell. They did not call a holding on the Kobe Dean. The Kobe Dean was on the blitz, and the offensive guard just basically tackled him from behind. And they just let that go. So you have bad calls both ways. What are you going to do? We definitely should have had that strip sack. Absolutely. Jalen Hunt got robbed on that. Definitely, but it should have been a strip sack. So if that would have been another game, probably would have got away with it. Who knows? But for the most part, we didn't have a bad day with the penalties and things of that nature. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot too much. We had a couple of delayed games, but for the most part, we was all right. Yeah. Like the stuff that Mahomes do, you might as well. You might as well. So, but I'll tell you what I learned though. Because y'all know I'm a Cincinnati boy. So I pay attention to Ohio sports. Cincinnati Bengals, born and raised. Cleveland Browns. Used to have a Brian Sight poster on my wall. Ohio State, Cincinnati Reds, the Cavaliers. I really don't watch the Indians or the Guardians or whatever they call now. Oh, he got outside. He sure did. He got outside and scored Jacobs with a great run. Great run. So, here's what I learned. Watching the Cleveland Browns, I don't want to hear shit about A.J. Brown. I don't want to hear shit about people complaining. I don't want to hear shit about AJ's tweets. I don't want to hear none of that. Because it is quite clear that there are a lot of teams in this league that wish they had our problems. So I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. If y'all don't like what AJ tweets, you ain't got to follow him. If Diana Rossini is just dead set on finding a story about AJ Brown, always something, tweeting, always something, and it's always the quotes are always something that somebody else said that's not even involved in our organization or even in the city of Philadelphia. They getting comments from people all over the country, everywhere but Philadelphia. So miss me with all of that stuff. It is too many teams in the NFL right now that wish they had our problems. The Cleveland Browns wish they had our problems. Miami Dolphins wish they had our problems. The Raiders wish they had our problems. So you got a lot of teams that ain't got no business talking. Not that the teams are saying stuff, but you understand my point. I'm looking at everything that's going on in Cleveland. Myles Garrett slamming his helmet down. Myles Garrett had a Hall of Fame game today. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks today. And he's slamming his helmet for what? Because he knows the offense is trash. He knows that Dylan Gabriel is trash. And they are doing everything possible to not play Shedeur Sanders. And I don't understand why. If it's all about winning, and if it's all about getting your team to the playoffs and then building on that success, they screwing it up. Again, there are plenty of teams in this league that wish they had Philadelphia problems. So I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear no bitch moaning complaining about what A.J. Brown is tweeting. I don't want to hear it. If you want to get on that negative bandwagon, there's too many other teams that you can do that to. Denver put up a 40 burger on Dallas today. Go talk to the Cowboys. Go talk to them. All them people that was talking about Dak Prescott is having an MVP. Miss me with that nonsense. You got to play the game. Don't get caught up in this bullshit. Every couple of games, it looks good. Nah, you got to play a lot of games. Even I had people, me and Tone was talking today about Jalen Hurts being in the MVP category. And I'm like, pump your brakes. I need to see a little bit more consistency. And quite honestly, Jalen Hurts, nobody's going to ever put Jalen Hurts in that MVP category until he starts throwing for more yards. That's just the reality of it. That is the bias the narrative that everybody runs. He can't throw the ball, and it's always something. This is a loaded team. He's being carried, and this, that, and the other. All he doing, everything matters to everybody else but winning. Everybody else is worried about the optics, the stats, all of that type of stuff. They worried about everything but winning. We the only team that seems like we worried about just winning. Screw how you do it, just do it. But they hold that against them, though. They hold that against them. But not my problem. We 6-2 going into the bye. How many of y'all had that on your bingo card? And if we would have played our cards right and played a little bit better in 2 games, we would be undefeated. We should be 8-0 at this point. But we not. Giants caught us. Denver caught us. It is what it is. But we coming out on the other side. We got this break. We got some people that can get some rest. The offensive line looked productive. We won the line of scrimmage today. That was the most important thing. We won the line of scrimmage today. How many times was Jalen Hurts under center today? That stuff matters. And everybody that's trying to rip on Kevin Patullo, if you remember with Kellen Moore, it took a minute for that to catch on. Jonathan Gannon, it took a minute for that to catch on. What were we supposed to do on defense? We had a new coordinator. We had a new coordinator on defense, a new coordinator on offense, and we all complaining on what it should look like. And it just took a minute for the coaches to find their footing. It looks like Patullo has found his rhythm on how he wants to call plays and what plays he wants to pull out that iPad. Sometimes you got to let people get the time they need to get adjusted. It is an adjustment. Period. You can't just add water and have instant Pro Bowl coach or quarterback or rookie, or everybody is so impatient these days. There is zero development anymore. Zero. If you think I'm lying, you look at all of these quarterbacks that's in the Hall of Fame now. All the greats that we look up to. You look at Peyton, you look at Troy Aikman, you look at, find a quarterback, Joe Montana. Go look at their first 3-4 years in the league back in the day when they truly developed quarterbacks. Nobody does that anymore. The turnover is too quick. Every year, Jalen Hurts has got a new damn offensive coordinator. And then you have a successful season, and then all your coaches get cherry picked. It's very hard to have any continuity. So for Jalen Hurts to even overcome that is incredible. Is incredible. Montana never threw for 4,000 in the season. Yeah, but we had less games back then, and it looked different. Everybody wasn't worried about what you worried about now. The stats didn't look like they look now. Shit, when Montana played, they played what, 14 games in the season? Then it went to 15. When I was in the league, we played 16 games in the season. So it keeps going up. Now we up to what, 17, going to soon be at 18 games. So the stats keep going up. The stats keep going up. So even like last year, when Saquon Barkley broke that record for Eric Dickerson, or he became number 2 on the all-time list for a season. Eric Dickerson had like 3 less games to break that record. 3. I think back then when Dickerson was playing, they only played like 15 games. Saquon got 17 or maybe it was 14, whatever it was. Dickerson did it in less games. But that's the way we do it now. I think the marvel of it in this era of football is the fact that a team gave them the ball that much in the first place, because the NFL as a whole is a passing league. So the fact that Saquon was that successful and that good in a passing lead, that in this era is the incredible part. So Yeah, less carries. I agree, but still less carries. But look at the number of games. Just so do it like this. Do it like this. So what happens um if Dickerson would have had, I don't know, one extra game? I mean, I know it's less carries, but you understand my point. And it was just different back then. It was harder to do back then. 16 games. There you go. So, but in any case, we still got it done. We still got it done. So hopefully we kind of getting over the hump. The Eagles as a team getting over the hump. And let me see, 22-19, 12:58 in the fourth. Green Bay's got the ball again. There go Jacobs. Good run. They're going to end up running out this clock. Is that Jacobs? No, that's Wilson. Another good run by Green Bay. They're going to end up running out the clock on Pittsburgh. Yeah, Jim Brown. To me, Jim Brown was Jim Brown and Bo Jackson were the best running backs ever, in my opinion. Jim Brown was better than you know all of them. Adrian Peterson, Dickerson. People always laugh at Bo Jackson putting him in that category because Bo didn't play long enough because he got hurt. But Bo, I look at Bo like LeBron. LeBeau was the LeBeau. LeBron is not the best. LeBron is not the GOAT of the NBA. However, LeBron is probably the best physical specimen we've ever seen in the NBA. And this is the thing that people tend to forget about LeBron. And you got to give him props for this. LeBron did it from day one. Day one, fresh out of high school. Now, I know there's been a lot of guys that jumped in the NBA out of high school, but how many of them jumped and had that level of success out of high school? Carried a franchise. He took the Cleveland Cavaliers to the playoffs, y'all, and to a championship. And he was out of high school. Now, it took him a couple years to get there and all that kind of stuff, but if you didn't see, Kobe didn't even do that. It took Kobe a couple years. But LeBron, from day one, LeBron was different. And everybody knew it. Everybody knew it. Same with Tiger Woods. Day one, he was killing folks. Tiger Woods didn't have to go to Stanford, but he went there, got the college experience, and got better at his craft. And when he came to the PGA Tour, they hated it. Absolutely hated it because he was whooping everybody's ass. And all them old fogey stogies and all them Southern prejudice men in the PGA, they didn't want to see that black boy come up in there. They didn't. They changed courses because of him. Jalen Hurts is in the same boat. That's one of the things we talked about earlier. Jalen Hurts will always have the bias against him that he don't throw the ball well enough. That's what we was talking about Jalen being an MVP candidate. He needs to put up better passing numbers, just a little bit more. He got to, in my opinion, he got to get over 4,000. He has to get over 4,000. He needs to be at like 200. Oh, they about to score again. Green Bay scores. Jalen need to be about 200 yards a game to be considered an MVP candidate. We will say that in and around Philadelphia. We'll say that. We'll say he's an MVP candidate. Absolutely. Rightfully so. But everybody else on the outside, they're going to be fighting that tooth and nail. Anybody that's even close, they'll put above Jalen. Because they don't want to, they're looking for optics. They're looking for optics. Hell, you see what they did to Lamar Jackson last year. Lamar Jackson should have been 3-time MVP. He should have won it 3 times in a row. But they had to give it to Josh Allen. No, you didn't. Lamar was better. Lamar was better. But they were dead set. They weren't gonna let Lamar win it 3 times in a row. But Lamar was a better quarterback last year. Period. For the second year in a row, they lose in the playoffs, not by his fault. Somebody dropping the ball. That dude dropped that ball, and first thing I thought of was the Cleveland Browns when Ernest Biner dropped that touchdown. I said, "Oh my God!" I keep seeing these Arby's steak bites, so I'm gonna have to try them because I keep seeing them, and I know they're not good for me. But me being a barbecue guy, now I gotta try. Now I gotta try. But in any case, yeah, Dangberg gang. They'll say anybody. They'll give anybody that or start talking about that. Um, but Jalen Hurts, there's always an asterisk. There's always a but. You know, but if you look at Jalen Hurts and the way things have gone down, you go back and you pull the receipts from when he was drafted, and when you hear all the guys, Rappaport, Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, all the guys that are supposed to be the smartest man in the room when it comes to a draft. And everybody got it wrong. And this is what I try to tell people all the time. Just do your own homework. There's too much information out there. There's too much knowledge available where you can do your own analysis. You can do your own analysis. And you can look at the situation for yourself and make your own conclusions. But Jalen's been hearing this ever since that situation at Bama. Ever since he got benched for Tua, never heard the end of it. Comes back, runner up for the Heisman, then he gets drafted, and then he's supposed to be the backup. And then everything happened with Carson Wentz, and then here's Jalen starting, and then all of the rhetoric and all of the talk starts up again. Jalen Hurts can't get it done. Jalen Hurts will never bring a franchise a Super Bowl win. All of this stuff about what Jalen can't do. Can't read defenses. He can't do this. He's not a good thrower of the football. He doesn't throw with timing and this. All they talk about was what they don't like. All they talked about is what he can't do about, what other quarterbacks can do. He ain't got a golden arm. He's not tall enough. You can't be a running back playing quarterback. All of that type of stuff. All the stuff they said the same shit about Michael Vick. When Michael Vick signed with the Eagles, that was probably his best year as a quarterback. When it's amazing when you find a new spot and you get some good coaching and you get the things that you need, it makes a difference. Jalen is just different, period. Nobody in the history of ever has had as many offensive coordinators or play callers inconsistently in their career than Jalen Hurts. 8 different coaches calling plays in like 10 years going back to college. It's been absolutely ridiculous. This man has had no continuity, none. But he still gets the job done. He still wins games. And he took us to the ultimate game twice. Once he got the ultimate ending. And people still have a problem with him. And I bring this up all the time. You go look at your top picks in the draft. Your top picks at quarterback in the draft. How many championships do they have? How many chips do they have? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. They don't have many. How many of those people have lived up to the example or lived up to their draft status? Not many. Not many. Baker Mayfield is playing pretty good, but even look what Baker had to go through. And Baker still ain't made it to the game. He still ain't made it to the chip. I'll give it to you if you at least got there. Cam at least got there. and he experienced Murphy's Law. He had the worst possible outcome and the worst possible performance. And yeah, he just didn't handle that well at all. And that has haunted him to this day. To this day, because he was clearly a better quarterback, but you still got to put it down on paper. It's just not going to magically happen. It's not. I'll never hate on Mahomes, only when he playing the Eagles, because they seems like they give him so much. But guess what? Andy Reid went and got him. There was a lot of people that didn't want Mahomes to be the pick. Andy Reid had to convince people, but Andy Reid did his own homework. So he understand what he was getting. And Mahomes turned out to be that good. But we in the same boat. Stafford, yep. But guess what? Would you put Jalen over Stafford? Stafford's only been to what? One Super Bowl? Oh, wait a minute. How far did he go in Detroit? Because Stafford is legit. Don't get me wrong. But they're not going to compare Stafford and Jalen Hurts. You know why? Because they're going to look at Stafford's passing numbers and just put him so far over the top when ultimately they got the same number of championships. Yeah, Cam be hating Jalen big time, bro. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Cam is hard to listen to sometimes. Like Cam sound like one of them dudes at the cookout that he gonna out yell you whether he's right or wrong. And he think just because if you yell loud enough, you'll automatically be right. That's what he sounds like. Now, I've heard him have some good conversations, but that's few and far between at this point because he's trying to be a caricature of himself. So, you know, he on his podcast with the cigar down in the basement doing all this stuff. And it's like, dude, just talking and make your point. You educated, dude. You smart. Just tell me what you're trying to say. You ain't got to talk crazy. You ain't got to talk like you in a damn 3-ring circus. Make your point. Yeah, that Andy Reid let him know. This is the guy I want. This is the guy I want. And Andy Reid went and got him. So, I mean, and if the truth be told, I don't know if you guys have heard that story about Philadelphia and Russell Wilson. Philadelphia was supposed to draft Russell Wilson, and they thought Russell Wilson was just going to fall to their spot in the draft, not thinking that Seattle would move up to get him. Go for what you know. So, what up, Mortis? Nah, we ain't had no problem with AJ, man. That's all people on the outside looking in. That's all on the outside looking in. Mortis, did you go to the game? I know homecoming was this weekend. I saw my frat brothers down there. They was posting pictures and stuff. So I don't know if you went to the game. A lot of partying down there. Nah, I don't. You know what? I don't even watch First Take no more. I watch Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty, Chris Canty and Michelle Smallman. I love that show, and Mike Evans. Love that show. I think that's the best show in the morning, in my opinion. And then sometimes I watch Good Morning Football, because I really like Jamie Erdahl. But other than that, usually I watch Unsportsmanlike for Chris Canty and them. I really like that show. So I don't even watch Get Up because I get so sick of Stephen A. Smith. To me, Stephen A. Smith is the same as Cam Newton. I met Stephen A. Smith a couple times before. Stephen A. Smith he came into my Apple store when I was working at Apple. He came into my store twice, and I helped him both times. He was a nice dude, but he is exactly in person like you see on television. That's the one thing I do give him credit for. Like, he ain't what you see on television, he ain't fronting. That's exactly that same energy, that same attitude, bravado, and all of that kind of stuff. He is the same way in person. Maybe not as loud because he got to be loud on the television show and stuff like that, but he got that same attitude and is the same dude, which is rare because sometimes people put on television and then they totally different when you meet them in person. Stephen A. Smith is the same. He came in trying to get a hookup because it was busy and he wanted to get to the front of the line and blah, blah, blah. And I ended up helping him out. I'm like, come on, y'all know he is a celeb. So, you know, because people like that, you don't want them to mess around and people start asking for autographs. And we've had a couple people in there like that. So, you know, the one person I missed, they came through the Apple store and I wasn't working that day. And I always tell people that is somebody I would have probably got an autograph from was Bobby Flay. Because at that particular time, I was really just getting in heavy into the barbecue and the cooking. I was a Food Network fiend. I was watching everything on Food Network. So Bobby Flay I was like, oh, I'm getting his autograph. He had just opened his Bobby Flay's Burgers down in the mall. And he came to the Apple store. And everybody told me when I came back to work the next day. And I was like, damn, I would have got him. I saw Michael Rooker, the guy that played Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in there one time. And one of my favorite stories is Rob Bass was in there. The rapper. It takes two to make a thing go right. That Rob Bass. And when you see people like that, it was like on a Thursday. Wednesdays and Thursdays was the slow days at the Apple store. Rob Bass came in with like 2-3 other people. They just looking around, keeping it quiet. A couple people noticed them. Guy came over to me. I was busy with something else. He was like, yo, that's Rob Bass. I was like, damn, it really is. So kind of walked over there to him. I was like, dude, you good? You need some help? He's like, nah, we good. Just looking. I said, all right, no problem. So this dude that I work with, he want to be that guy, right? And when you get celebs like that come in, rappers, actors, stuff like that, most of the time you leave them alone. You ask if they need help, and then you leave them alone. If they need you, they will call you. They'll come over to you like, hey, can you help me out? Blah, blah, blah. We don't work on commission. So, you know, you just get the satisfaction of knowing, hey, you helped such and such on TV, that sort of thing. And sometimes they remember you and whatever. So clearly, he just wanted to be left alone. Clearly. So this dude decides that he wants to turn on the wireless speaker. We used to have the speakers hooked up to the phone so you could, if somebody was looking for a speaker, we could turn it on, demo it for him. This guy puts on It Takes Two, the song. He plays the song on iTunes over the loudspeaker. And I'm like, no, you didn't do that. Soon as the song came on, and you know what I'm talking about, he got the thing up loud right about now. And I was like, no, you did not do that, dude. And I looked up, and Rob Bass looked up, and him and the rest of his little posse walked right up on out of there. And I was like, come on, man. Like, why would you do that? But, all right, enough about the celebrity rant. Yeah, it was like, no, please, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Man, I just looked at him like, oh, you idiot, dude. Just, I was like, why would you do that, bro? Like, clearly he ain't want to be bothered. Clearly people like that, they don't want you announcing who they are. They don't want everybody crowding them around and all of that type of stuff. They don't want to do that. And here you go. So like, oh my God, dude. So yeah, he was trying to glaze, bro. He was trying to glaze. It was funny. But I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I don't know what none of this has to do with Jalen Hurts, but I thought it was a funny story. But in any case, so yeah, man, I'm looking at all these teams. A lot of these teams wish they had Eagles problems, but they don't. Eagles are in a good spot right now because we are going on our break. You're off this week, but everybody that's supposed to get treatment, damn it, they better be coming into NovaCare to get treatment. Saquon, you better be in the air chamber, hyperbaric chamber, whatever you got to do to get that growing right, bro. Whatever you got to do to get it right. Our biggest question marks right now are Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson. I want them to get 100% healthy so we can get our offensive line back. That's what we need. But what I saw today was good. And that lets me know that, like, hey, they figuring it out. They figuring it out. So Toth is a much better center or backup center than he is at left guard. Let's go ahead and put that out there. And I'm still trying to figure out what happened to the little guy they signed from the Rams. The 5'11 dude that was beating up everybody at the Senior Bowl. What happened to that dude? We signed him. Are we doing anything with him? We need a center. Let's go. So hopefully we'll get Nolan Smith back. Nakobe Dean has been balling. We can come back and get off these get off the schneid with these injuries, man. So yeah, Landon looked pretty decent today. Landon looked pretty decent. I think Miami. I think Miami is just waiting to get rid of McDaniels, they coach. I think they're just waiting for the right time, and then he won't be back next year. Now, maybe he'll make it to the end of the year if they win out a couple games. Who knows? They're probably not going to make it to the playoffs, and they probably going to get bounced out soon enough. Will Lampkin, thank you. Yep. He's on IR. Gotcha. He's been on IR all year, though. So I just wanted to see, even though he on IR, my question is he healthy? Is he, because if he on IR, that means you can take him off of it. Because he's been on IR longer than 4 weeks. 4 weeks is the minimum when you're on IR, I believe. And he's past that threshold. So maybe, yeah. Dallas having a career year, Dallas. Yeah. Yep. And he didn't have a lot of yards today, but he had a good game. Jordan Love is thrown for 360 today and 3 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, 16 for 25, 146. So Jordan Love is having a game today. Josh Jacobs, only 33 yards. Packers, tight end Kraft, 7 catches for 143 yards and 2 tutties. He getting it in today. This might be the last year for Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, too. If they don't make the playoffs, I think he might be out. Oh, that's an incomplete pass. Did y'all see Denver put that 40 burger on Dallas today? That was very nice to see. Very nice to see. I don't think he's underappreciated. Not at all. I disagree with that. He is not underappreciated. He just knows his role, and let's be real. Last 3 years in a row, Dallas has had major injuries. So we're trying to keep Dallas on the field as much as we can because he's prone to get hurt. Cowboy fans been coping all night. I love it. Yeah, man, listen. The people that love the Cowboys is going to talk they smack about the Cowboys. Not today, though. Not today. Y'all got flabbergasted and y'all had a 40 burger put on you. Quietly going in the locker room, take your shower, get dressed, get in your car, and think about what you did. Looks like Green Bay gonna take this game. Green Bay gonna be 5-1-1. And Pittsburgh's gonna go 4-3. So unless Jordan Love just does something stupid, but heck, after that game last week, they still running the ball. He gets the first down. Good run, dude. Yeah, Cowboys fans be blaming everybody, don't they? But guess what? I'll take our guy. Y'all can wax nostalgic all you want. Jalen Hurts is the one that's winning games. So let's get through this last stretch. Coming out the bye, we got a pretty good schedule. Did y'all see Spencer Rattler got benched today? Green Bay will be number one in the NFC. Not with that tie, they won't. Oh, did you? You tagged me on X? Let me see what we got. Let me see. I got it. I see it. Yeah, I don't see anything attached to it though. I see the dudes that responded, but I thought you had like a link or something. Because it said what's going to happen with him. I think that was the article that was supposed to be linked. We'll find something. But whenever he comes back, he just need to be a good backup. He ain't gonna start. We know what the situation is. Cam Jurgens is that guy. We need to get Cam Jurgens ready, back on the field, and hopefully this. I hope this back injury or this knee injury, whatever it is with Cam Jurgens, I hope we can settle it with a day off, couple days off his feet, the rest of the week off his feet, whatever you got to do. Dallas won't even win 9 games. I hope you're right. Let's do our part when we go down there. Where is Trevor Keegan? That is a great question. That is a great question. Where is Trevor Keegan? Out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. So it'll be a fun week. It'll be a fun week to listen to Dallas whining. It'll be a fun week to listen to the crash out of Cleveland because they so sick of Dylan Gabriel right now. It's not even funny. Because clearly he's not an NFL quarterback. Not even close. .402 left, 32-19 Green Bay. Green Bay done came out 4-3. Are they going for it? Are going to kick a field goal? What are they doing? I can't see where the ball is. I think they're punting. No, they kicking. They kicking. Yeah, the team has November 9th till November 9th to get their asses together. Yeah. Absolutely. There is something to be said on doing a whole lot of nothing. And that's what the Eagles are going to be doing this week on their bye week. Field goal is good. Green Bay is up 35-19. They're putting a whooping on Pittsburgh. Putting a whooping on Pittsburgh. Dylan Gabriel is hot garbage trash. Yes, he is. They need to go ahead and give Shedeur his opportunity. Let Shedeur start for about 4 games and see what you got. Go from there. Because you're not going to get a true sample size if Shedeur plays a game. Or if they found a way to squeeze them in there and squeeze them back out. And, forget all that stuff. Let them play a quarter unimpeded. I'll drop the link. Give me about, I'm going to drop the link at 11:30. 11:30. So about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Do I think any trades or pickups will occur between now and the next game? Possibly. I'm really, really hoping that Howie goes out and gets his cornerback. We need a CB2 still. So you don't know what you're going to get with Keely Ringo. He was solid today because you didn't hear his name too much. But it's got to be an edge or a DB. That's what it's got to be. But we'll see. We'll see. I am going to hold on for a sec. I'm going to get me another water, and then I'll be back. Let me grab another water real quick, and I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna open up the lines. I'll be right back. There we go. Had to get me some water. All right. What I miss? Trays. Do I think it's the owner's decision to not let Shador play? Kind of. I think the whole situation with Shador, I think ownership is split, and I don't think Kevin Stefanski is a big fan of his. But at the end of the day, when you get situations like this, you get exposed, period. You get exposed. You didn't have this type of problem when Bryce Young got drafted. Bryce Young and Dylan Gabriel are roughly the same size. Shit, Bryce Young might be a little bit taller, but you get my point. Bryce Young had a lot of criticism because he just wasn't the guy. He didn't meet the optics. They want somebody that's 6'3", 6'4". The same thing we talk about Jalen Hurts, but Bryce Young is nowhere as good as Jalen Hurts is. So Bryce Young is good. He's just not that good. Is Bryce Young going to take Carolina to the promised land? I don't know. I know we've been there twice with our guy that can't throw, can only run the ball, all of that stuff they talked about him. He been there twice, and he won an MVP one time. Got the chip. So, again, teams wish they had our problems. But I don't know. I think the owners have a little bit to do with it because the owner, at the end of the day, the owner can come down and say, hey, Stefanski, play Shador. Case closed. But I want to know. Here's the deal, and here's the perfect example. Y'all remember what Mike Vrabel looked like when they decided to trade A.J. Brown. You had that shot in the war room. He was on the phone. He made a couple comments, but ultimately he knew there wasn't anything he could do. It was above his pay grade. GMs and owners are making those decisions. And you saw when the deal was done, he had to get up and walk it off because they had traded away his best player. And his replacement that they drafted barely did anything. He got hurt, barely even touched the field. I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. I think he just signed with somebody. Was it Traylon Burks? So that's an ownership decision. And it seems to me, and again, I'm on the outside looking in, but it seems to me that the ownership wasn't in alignment with them drafting Shador Sanders or Dylan Gabriel for that matter. Because if everybody in that room, that's a brain trust right there. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money and they are paid to be the smartest men in the room when it comes to finding draft picks, scouting, doing your homework on players. And they drafted Dylan Gabriel in the third round, and they looked at the situation knowing Shador was available, and they decided this guy that's only 5'9" from, the whatever schools he went to, this guy is the guy we want to keep. Not the guy that was the most accurate in college football, and not that guy because I don't like his daddy. That's essentially what they did. And it's going to cost them. They are the locker room is just about gone. They don't like Stefanski because when you have somebody in the room that's the best that you got, You done traded away your veterans. You traded away Kenny Pickett, and you let Joe Flacco walk. Meanwhile, Flacco's just doing it up for my Bengals. So, I think it is a owner's decision because an owner could ultimately say, "Play the kid, or you looking for a new job." They could ultimately say that. But I want to see what they're gonna do with Shador. If they're gonna give him a fair shot. Dylan Gabriel, he done had what, 3 games, 4 games? He been running with the ones, doing all of that stuff. It simply is not manifesting on the field. Period. That's the way it goes sometimes. Everybody that get drafted ain't ready. Period. It don't always work out that way. Unfortunately, it's you got to give up your dream job. But Dylan Gabriel ain't getting it done. Not even close. And people that were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt aren't. Same thing with Kevin Stefanski. Stefanski. They want him out of there because he's not doing what it takes for the franchise to win. I don't know. If Cleveland fires Stefanski, I'm sure somebody would scoop him up rather quickly. I wouldn't mind seeing him back in Philly. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but that remains to be seen. We'll see. We'll see. Burke signed with Washington. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see any Ringo rants on X. Yeah, he played a solid game today, at least, or maybe they didn't throw to him, throw his side, or whatever the case was. But he got a shot. But you out there in Washington. Just there's a difference. This is what I found out today. Today we found out who was a good backup, and if you just got a bunch of guys, there's a difference. What's up, Cass?
What up, Coach?
You feeling good about today? How everything went down?
Yeah, man, I feel good. That was a good one today. We needed that one. We needed that one.
All phases were clicking today. All phases
Yeah.
were clicking.
I will say though, Kevin Patullo, and I think you kind of mentioned this, but nobody's really said it. But Kevin Patullo really ain't been bad the last 4 games.
Right.
Even in the 2 losses, he wasn't bad. In the Broncos game, there was plays to be made. You got a 8-yard run call back for holding, a 9-yard completion call back for ineligible man downfield. The Smitty bomb comes back because of illegal.
Right.
All types of it's just mistakes. And then the Giants game, I mean, the less said about that, the better. We know what happened there. I thought he was really good in the Vikings game. Even in the run game. We had more outside zones, we had more tosses. We just didn't block good in the Vikings game.
Correct. I thought he was fine in this, and that's why I say you're talking about execution. Because I am a firm believer that Kevin Patullo could be the worst offensive coordinator in the world. But if you got a good team and the team is about business, the defense can know what you're running and they still can't stop it. So as long as you execute the play, you get what you get. You win some, you lose some. But for the most part, most of the plays are designed to be successful. Now they break down offensive line. Now our offensive line was the problem, point blank, period. Now that we got some good blocking for a whole game for the first time, it seems this year. Now the playbook can open. Jalen threw the ball around, but Jalen didn't have a lot of yards passing. He looked good, but he didn't have a lot of yards passing because Saquon Barkley was running. We had 2 running backs with over 100 yards each. So where those opportunities for the touches coming? Now we going back to how we played when we were rolling over folks. The run game was there. Jalen Hurts had to pass when he had to pass. He used his legs and ran to the sticks. That's the identity we've been looking for. We just ain't had a chance to do it because everybody's figured out a way to stop Saquon. Not today, though.
And most of it, as far as stopping Saquon, was because the whole line hasn't been healthy.
Correct.
And I think, and that's another reason why today being what it was today makes me feel so good because we're going into the bye. And when we come out the bye, we got Cam coming back. Landon's getting healthy about a week. Cam basically is going to have 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks of rest.
Right.
AJ is going to be back. Then on defense, BG is going to be here.
Yep.
Nolan's going to be back. We're going to get a good look at Ja'Cory and Bennett. Like, we're not even in our final form yet, and we're 6-2.
Yeah, I was kind of mad about the whole BG thing.
Yeah, because I didn't like all the pomp and circumstance just for him not to play.
Exactly my point. We could have waited till after the break.
Because it's like, oh, BG coming back. We do a whole thing about it, and then but he's not playing this week though.
He on the sideline with everybody else.
So you did all this to get us excited after knowing we needed edge play. And everybody loves BG. You get us all excited just to tell us we got to wait 2 weeks to see him.
Got to wait 2 weeks to see him. Yep.
It's bad enough when we play. We only gonna see him 5 to 12 plays anyway.
He gonna end up making a play.
Oh, of course he is. He's BG.
He gonna end up making a play. So, I don't mind. I wasn't crazy about it. I would have just not made the announcement and just waited to the break. For the same reason you said, why you give all that hype and then he don't even play. But hey, it is what it is. What's up, Chris?
What it do, Coach? You got me?
Oh, it's all good, man. We got a good night tonight. All 3 faces was firing off tonight, and we look good. And now we on the bye week.
Yeah, much needed. Definitely think team definitely gonna benefit from it. You go into it with a win, and then obviously the guys that are coming back the extra week is definitely needed from the bye. Got so many dudes backed up, but I thought today was, got the run game going again, man. Finally. Run game looked good. We got 2 backs that went over 100. I don't even know when the last time that happened was.
I think they threw some stack up that answered that question.
Bryce Brown and LaShawn McCoy in 2013.
Right. Yeah, that's how long it's been. And obviously, we've been the best running team in the league for a minute, but first time we've actually had 2 backs go over 100.
I was about to say we've had plenty of games where we've had 2 people go over 100, but usually one of them is Jalen.
Right.
Well, I think Jalen. I think I heard a stat. I think Jalen only went over 100 twice, so I don't think Jalen been a part of it. But usually, I know last year Saquon was doing 2 running backs job on his own when he was going for them 200-yard games. So I think that's probably what it was. But yeah, all in all, shoot, I think referees were a little questionable today, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? They were definitely, they left a lot to be desired.
Man, NFL gonna be under that that NBA trouble.
Yeah, not just us across the league, man. There was some calls today that just looked real tricky.
But y'all watch that Cowboys game? That Cowboys game was egregious.
Man.
Yeah, it was, but the Cowboys lost, so I don't care.
Yeah, got beat down too. I'm telling that Denver team is serious. Is a serious team, man. But all in all, though, good win. Going to the bye 6-2. Get guys healthy. No, we are not a better team without AJ. So I hope that's not a topic. I know it will be, but
somebody gonna bring it up.
Somebody gonna bring it up. So we beat a team that we were supposed to beat, and we did it how we supposed to. But and man, Hey, Coach, didn't Tanner McKee look good kneeling the ball at the end? That looked real good.
Yeah, I noticed how he stepped past the line of scrimmage before he knelt,
Yeah,
so he would get
little
positive
detail.
yards. That
Yeah,
was
that's a
smart.
Yeah,
technique.
so he get
That's a,
the he
that's
don't
a
get
technique.
positive.
That's a technique that Jalen would never use. Boy, we got to get him up out of there, don't we?
Yeah, man.
Hey, but watch how everybody else will try to smack the ball on the tush push now.
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna try to bite that style.
yeah,
Yeah, the touch push is dead after this year.
Oh yeah, you already know.
yeah. It's on the way. So, but
You already
Lonzo
know.
able to get the maximum out of it.
If they could vote
But
on it now, it'll be gone by midseason.
no. Well, here's the thing with it. Because it's not dead in the aspect of you can't run a tush push. They're gonna put a rule in place. They're gonna try to make it. They're gonna try to make it so you can't push the ball carrier. The problem with that is what happens if you running the ball and you get the ball 7 yards. So you get that scrum behind you pushing you, and you only had to get 7 yards a pop, or not if you tush pushing. But my point is, you gotta get that little push. You stick the ball out there. Now that they've seen that they could smack that ball away or grab it. I thought Jalen was going to put it out there and pull it back real quick, but he didn't get a chance to. That was a good play by Thibodeau. Everybody's going to do the same thing now.
And I think that's gonna be a coaching point. I think Nick gonna tell Jalen not to do that ever again, unless he had to goal line.
Right. Now the thing what they're going to do with the rules is they're going to try to input a rule that says you can't like push somebody while they're the ball carrier or something like that. They're going to try to. It's not like they're just going to take it away. They're going to put rules in place that make it ineffective. So what they're going to do is, what the Eagles are probably going to do is, they're probably going to put a twist to it and run the same play.
Yeah, no, I definitely think they'll do whatever they can to diminish the play. But I think we'll be all right, man. We're gonna find a way. If the O line can block like how it did today, more often than not, we won't be needing to tush push as often because we'll be moving the ball anyway. So
Facts.
I hope that regardless of what they do, we can find a way to take care of business. And sometimes I don't know if this is just me, but I do feel like because we know we got the yard guaranteed, I think sometimes in first 3 downs, man, I don't think I like the play calling sometimes because I think we know we got that yard in the back pocket, and I think sometimes they kind of like, well, yeah, we'll just,
It's funny you said that. I was talking to my homie the other day, and I told him that's one of the main reasons why I'm okay with getting the tush push up out of here, because sometimes it affects the creativeness of the offense. Like that Giants game, we got the ball at the 4-yard line. We ran 4 straight tush pushes.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm like, what I'm saying, it is an automatic yard and a half, 2 yards.
And even though scoring the touchdown, I get it. It's a nice little middle finger to the people that be talking crazy about the tush push. At the same time, you as a fan of football, you understand what people say when they say, "Yeah, this is just boring to watch." Like,
it ain't
I just for me, I just don't like the way we be approaching the first 3 downs. Sometimes I'm just like, I know we got the yard, but man,
it's like a handicap. Yeah, it's like a handicap. It's like we're gonna call it's like on 3rd and 7, we're gonna call all hooks right at the line, right at the sticks. So even if you catch it and gotta come back, we know we got that yard.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was not today, but last week we had it was a 3rd and 5 in the red zone up in Minnesota, and they decided to run the ball to try to get it to 4th and 1. And I'm like, Jalen was rolling, bro. Like, just
I hated that
ball.
so much. That might have been my most frustrated moment with Kevin Patullo of the last month. I hated that play call so much. I'm like, Jalen is dicing these people.
Yeah, man. If he got it going, yeah. Now today, if they would have did that on 35, I'd have understood it because the running game was rolling, so I get it. But sometimes I feel like because they know they got that yard, they get like this super 4th down not conservative, but they get this super mentality where it's like, if we can just get the 4th and 2, 4th and 1, we'll go. But
all in all, that's a 4th and 1 play now because 4th and 2 ain't gonna cut it. You ain't getting 2 or 3 yards on the push no more.
Hey, Sirianni, man, we a little arrogant sometimes offensive. We feel like
sometimes, yes, we are.
Yeah, so but all in all though, like I said, it's good to be all things considered, Coach, like I said, to be 6-2 at the midway point with the bye coming up, get these guys
can't
healthy
wait.
and get ready for the second half of the year. We'll be all right,
The
man. I think
Gi-
we in good shape.
the Giants did something that I hadn't seen anybody do yet against us,
What's up?
and it didn't work because Jalen still ran for the first. But on 4th and 5 and under, between 2 and 5, on 4th and between 2 and 5, from right around midfield, do people not know Jalen's going deep? Like that's
Yeah.
and they actually took it away because he was looking there. That's why he
Yeah.
scrambled. He was looking at Smitty, and they sent the safety over there. And I was like, that's the first time anybody's figured out, like, we might want to take that streak away. Because he's made a living off of converting 4th and 3 from midfield on that play. He's made a living with that.
Even though we got sacked, like, what was it, four or five times today, he still moved pretty well in the pocket. And
Oh,
he
yeah,
still keep his eyes out.
definitely.
He made me so mad. He was lucky Tank Bigsby bailed him out because I was gonna ream him about that 21-yard loss sack. I don't know what he was doing on that
Yeah.
play.
You know what? All these quarterbacks keep doing this thing where they spin out and then they twist the other way.
Yeah, what is that?
Jalen did it. Shador Sanders did it. It just seems like it's a way to fake out the college roll.
I guess. I will say too, because Dallas Goedert is having a hell of a year in terms of TDs, man. He's at 7 already. I'm like,
Find him open. That's all you got to do
Man.
is find him open.
he
He's
is a
He's still gonna be
machine.
suspect blocking, but
Yeah,
as long as he puts 6 on the board, I'm good.
yeah. I mean, he's a mismatch, man. He
Yep.
This definitely his-
Can't
this
nobody
definitely his
cover him.
worst season, baby.
Yep.
so.
This is definitely his worst season as a blocker that I've seen.
Because I had one question. All right, both of y'all, what y'all think? Second half of the coming after the bye, most important non-quarterback for us to do what we need to do. Y'all think most important player
Cam
Jurgens?
Cam Jurgens is the most important player on that field because he touches the ball on every play. That's the importance of a center. If you don't get the center quarterback exchange right, nothing else can happen. I used to tell my kids that all the time because at 10 years old, kids, everybody want to be the star. Nobody wants to be an offensive lineman, and nobody damn sure wants to be a center. And I had to convince this kid. I was like, "Yo, you are the most important." I used to do this in the huddle with all the kids watching, and I would ask the quarterback, "Who's the most important player on the field?" And everybody would say the quarterback, and I was like, "No, it's the center because the center touches the ball first, and he's going to touch the ball on every play."
Yeah.
It's no different in the NFL. No different. We got
I
to get
would-
Toth or Jurgens or whoever's going to be starter. They have to be up to snuff, and they got to be playing their role.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go same spot, opposite side of the field, and I'm gonna say Jalen Carter
He had a
because
game today.
we saw today, and we saw at the Vikings game when Jalen Carter's on the field. This is a different defense. This is
Absolutely.
a different defense when Jalen Carter's on the field. Him and Nakobe Dean, when they are on the field, this is a different defense.
Kobe had a good game too.
I know it don't seem like, and I was watching as I'm watching the game, I'm like, it doesn't seem like we're getting to him, but we pressured Jackson Dart a lot today.
A whole lot.
Jalen Hunt had 9 pressures by himself.
And 2 sacks?
Yeah.
One. They got they say he got across the line on the other.
Oh, that's right. And then he got the BS call on the strip sack.
He should have had 2 sacks. Yeah, he should have had a strip sack.
And a fumble
Jalen-
probably would have been a fumble recovery. Yeah.
Jalen's been flashing a lot the last couple of games. He just ain't finishing. Like he made me mad because he went up high on Jackson Dart. I don't know why he did that. He should have hit him in the thighs. Like he went up on the shoulder pad and he just shrugged him off.
Yeah.
Like Jackson Dart is like he's a strong dude. Like, but
Yeah.
when Jalen Carter's on the field, the run defense is better. This entire team just moves better. It seems like everybody got a better pass rushing moves when Jalen Carter's on the field with them than when he's so. And it sets the tone for our defense because the run defense was bad until he came back.
Yeah. It was suspect at best.
And now we got him back in the middle. We got N'Kobe back in the middle.
The Kobe had a
Nolan,
game today too. Our defense was just strong today.
Yeah,
Our
played
defense was
well.
strong.
I think they had one bad drive. I think it was like a drive. I think Giants converted like 3 third and longs. I think it was like one bad drive they had. Other than that, it was a pretty solid day all day.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that pass rush, I still feel like needs at least some room for growth. I think the pass rush, particularly on the edge.
You would say that, but then if you look at the pressure numbers, we were getting to it. We just weren't finishing.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That's
part of
the
the
same
pass
thing that
rush.
happened the first game. That same thing happened the first game against the Giants.
I think they
We
just
got
did a
hands
better
on
job.
Jackson Dart, but we couldn't get him down to the ground.
They did a better job of containing them from running this game. I give them that, and that's because Vic played more zone instead of man this game. So eyes was always on him when he broke the pocket. I know that one on the goal line, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. put one on him.
Yeah.
Man, Vic Fangio's
Everybody's
something
flashing,
else, man.
Everybody's flashing at the right time.
How
So
y'all felt
hopefully-
about how y'all felt about the OPI? I thought Slayton pushed off twice, but I didn't think it was that serious enough for a flag. But I did think he pushed off twice in
I
that
talked
same
about that earlier in the stream. When I initially watched it, I thought it was a horrible call for the Giants. I thought they should have let it go. But watching it again at a different angle, he pushed off badly.
He
Twice.
did.
It was the
Twice.
right.
And it's funny because I was arguing with my brother, he's a Giants fan, about that play. And we had to go back and watch that play in slow motion. Like we literally played it on YouTube on the replay. We played it at like 0.5 speed. And I was like, bro,
hard. He pushed off very hard.
Because he was like, they hand fighting, like he pulling his arm in his jersey. I was like, the hand fighting started because he pushed off the first time.
Right.
Like Q is stride for stride with him. He pushes him in the side, and Q hooks his hand as he's pushing him. That's the first grab and the first push initiated by Slayton. The second one, which was the one that the ref saw, was when he grabbed his shoulder pad and then pushed him in the chest. That's offensive pass interference.
Yep. In a nutshell.
But
in a nutshell, they're gonna be telling you the NBA refs looking at us like, y'all get away with that now?
It's not too soon.
Both quarterbacks got away with fumbles today.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Yeah, definitely.
It was errors in officiating on both sides. At least that was consistent. So
yep. Hey, I'm loving that polo though, Coach. I'm loving that Kelly Green polo. That's dope.
Yeah, I got a couple of these, man. Had to rock the Kelly Greens today. I had my I don't know if y'all saw me earlier. I had the I got the picture from the 1993 media guide.
Oh,
and
I think I seen it.
I got my profile. Did y'all see that? I got there we go.
Look at Coach.
There you go. Let me see. Hold on.
You had the white Kelly Green jersey, didn't you?
Yeah, this was an away jersey.
Ooh, they got to bring that one back, man.
Yeah, that was an away jersey. So I was trying to bring it up big screen, but I can't do it. I'll get out the way. But yeah,
they got to bring that white one back.
Representing.
Yeah, man, that's
representing
dope.
A little bit. But in any case, but all right, fellas, we got it good this week. Good place to stop. Let our squad get some rest, and I'm looking forward to not talking about. This will be perfect for me to get in my WNBA and college basketball stuff. So I'm happy. I need the break right now. So, but all right, I'm gonna get up out of here, fellas.
Tell Diana Rossini the same thing, please. Take a break.
So, the content don't stop, bro.
Yeah, no, not you. I'm talking about the people putting out all this nonsense. But yeah, we're gonna be here, though, Coach.
Diana Rossini is typing a tweet right now as we speak. She's just waiting to put it. She's just waiting to put it out there right before the Jalen's press conference this week.
She probably is.
But all right, Coach, appreciate you always, man. Go
all right, man. Y'all have a good night. Have a good week. Get in touch. But yeah, this was a Good game by the Eagles. Good game by the Eagles. We needed this in the worst way. We needed this game in the worst way because this was the first dominant game that the Eagles have done all year. First one. So, but all right, fellas, I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Tiffany, Sigma. What does that say? Sigma close to 173. Sigma versus the haters. Earl, Tiffany, Carlos, everybody on the squad. Private McClunky. But I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all have a great week. And hopefully we'll hear something about Shedeur. If Shedeur gonna get traded, if they're gonna start him, whatever they're gonna do. It's always something going on this week. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Go Birds.